on the NewsChannel 5
Math is
network.
not my thing.
This is Score on Business.
Okay. Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks. I'm your host today. I'm an entrepreneur and a volunteer with Score. Score wants to see you succeed, so make sure to check out scorenashville.org. We've got counseling available at no charge and a lot of low-cost classes at our website. Those are usually on the weekend, $25. They're a great value. So let's get to our first guest. Destin Tomkins is co-founder of eFinancial Alliance, a financial planning and investment firm serving individuals, nonprofits, and businesses. And thanks for being here, Destin.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
So when you think about entrepreneurs and small business, which is who we're talking to today, what do they need to know about financial planning and investment services?
Sure. Business owners have a lot on their plate. There's a lot going on, from just operating their core business to doing the things that maybe aren't related to the core business that are needed to just keep the business functioning.
Yeah.
So
long hours anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there can be some. It's easy to neglect your own kind of personal financial priorities in terms of focusing more on the business. And so we do want to encourage business owners from the get-go to kind of balance their own personal needs and goals and priorities along with the business. And they have a lot of unique planning needs, being a business owner, that are different from just from a regular individual who may be just a W-2 employee type person. And those can include things like risk management, like looking for tax efficiency opportunities, business succession, or all the way down to just retirement planning and investment.
Right. So tell us a little bit about being a fiduciary and what that exactly means.
Absolutely. Being a fiduciary means that you're required to act in the best interest of your clients. And we don't, as a fiduciary, we don't get paid by commission. So we're fee only. So, it allows us to align our incentives with our clients and to act independently. And ultimately, I think, act in the best interest of our clients.
Okay. So tell us more about risk management for small business entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So, with an individual, typically they may be planning for the potential of early death or early disability, and they want to have some protection against that. With a business owner, the risks can multiply pretty significantly. On top of needing to do the typical family planning that an individual would do, they have to keep in mind all the risks that are associated with the business. And they may have a key employee that's a big driver of the business, and they got to plan for what might happen. What if something happened to one of their key people? How would that affect their ability to generate revenue? And so there's things like key man insurance that you may look for protection. Additionally, a lot of times you're in a business with partners, and so you may have other people in your business, and so having some kind of contingency plans for if something were to happen to your partner, either an early death or early disability type situation, looking for things like a cross-purchase plan or a stock redemption plan can be kind of key business succession and kind of just protect against things that could business disruption type situations.
So do you all look with your business clients at things like a disaster, liability, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're not insurance agents, so we're not trying to sell the insurance products, but we are trying to help them think through those risks. Those, like I said, business interruption can come in a lot of different forms, and so making sure they have, whether it's general liability or whether it's protecting against the potential for litigation and other types of risks, want to make sure that they have proper coverages in place to protect a very valuable asset to the business owner. Obviously the business, they could have a significant portion of their net worth tied up into one asset.
Okay. So So when you look at diversifying assets for a business, what might that look like?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point as it relates to risk management because of segueing from what I mentioned a minute ago about concentrating, having so much of your net worth concentrated into one asset with any kind of outside interests. It's important to make sure that you add in some diversification, having some other assets that maybe aren't tied to the success of the business could be an important way to protect against downside in your own business.
Oh yeah, I think back, this was many years ago, but the company Enron went out of business, and so many of the people who worked there had everything invested in the company.
Absolutely. I think that's a great example of a situation where a lot of those employees they had all their retirement plan, their 401k account was heavily invested in Enron. So that they weren't only an employee there, but they had all their savings in the same company. And so that's definitely something we try to avoid, and we really encourage folks to make sure they're not, hey, if that's your source of income, it may not need to be your primary source your only source of investments.
Right, so you could look at whatever, mutual funds or
Absolutely. Mutual funds and ETFs are great. ETF's an exchange traded fund. It acts very similar to a mutual fund.
That'd be like the S&P 500
Sure,
fund?
absolutely. It's going to hold a basket of companies. And so you're not going to be concentrated into a small number of stocks or bonds. It's going to offer you a large number, maybe 30 or 100 even in some cases, to give you some protection against an Enron type situation.
Right. So tax efficiency, what are you looking at with clients when you're looking at that?
Yeah, no, that tax efficiency is a good one. You rarely ever meet a business owner that's not complaining about taxes. But one big area that I think is a great opportunity for business owners is around retirement plans, cash balance plans, deferred comp plans. These are kind of employer-sponsored plans. They can offer enormous tax advantages.
And these are in the 401k.
401k would be an example of one, and that's probably the most common and well-known example of one. But when properly designed, a business owner, along with key people in the company, might be able to save or contribute as much as $55,000 a year into a plan, where if you compare that to just an individual retirement account, you're limited to $5,500 a year that you could save, or $6,500 if you're over 50. So it can be not only a way to defer and save federal taxes by contributing to your retirement account, but also in some cases you find ways to minimize your FICA taxes by making contributions to a retirement account on behalf of your employees. So it can be an efficient way for you to reward employees. And I think in today's environment, we've got a hot jobs market, and so having a key benefit for attracting and retaining, high quality people is important.
Big deal. I want to go more into this, but we need to take a break right quick. So, ladies and gents, we'll be right back.